like a video from my Mac and then send it over to you, like a 30-second to 1 minute video if you wanted that.
Okay,
And yeah, so I was saying that
we can do
I
both
love,
if that's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, so I love the holistic nature of the platform, and then the fact that we were able to migrate from three different platforms into one, and that enabled us to basically raise 5x of our goal. So our goal typically for the preschool, and just to give a background, this is like a 97-year-old preschool. It's the oldest co-op preschool in the country, like at least, yeah, on the West Coast. And so the movie Toy Story was partly inspired by this preschool where Anya went to. So yeah, it's got an amazing history, and it was struggling in the pandemic. There was a good chance. I was on the board. There was a good chance that it would have shut down given the situation. But through fundraising, instead of raising like our 20K, which was our goal was 18K. We were able to raise nearly 100K, largely because of Paybee, and then few other efforts too that we made sort of as a like a whole sort of fundraising approach that we used. But Baby was instrumental in getting yeah, so say for our hopathon, typically we would raise about 5K. We got to about 15K, so 3x using the peer-to-peer event feature in Paybee. So we were able to raise 3x of for our hackathon. Auctions were also roughly about 3x better than the previous year. So all in all, it was super successful. So happy to record, like a 1 minute video and send it over for fundraising. Um, I'd say the customer service was excellent. So love that part. I know you were away on like leave during that time for some time, but it was excellent. And then again, I worked with Rajiv, and he was super supportive and helpful, very like responsive. Either he or the team would get back. I'd say one thing that I've heard feedback. I'm no longer actively involved with fundraising and with the preschool, but one piece of feedback that they mentioned was they're working on building a donor database using like Salesforce CRM. And I don't have any insights, or I no longer have access, but basically, maybe that might be some piece. I don't know if y'all are considering or something. There is kind of a mini CRM already in Paybee, but I could find out more that why are they building this CRM and working with Salesforce, and then they want to integrate that whole thing with the Paybee experience. But or yeah, for fundraising. So I'd say those are the high level things. Like we raised 5x for this oldest co-op preschool, and we unified our platform to from three platforms to one platform. So that's the story in a nutshell. Yeah, and it also helped this preschool survive the pandemic. So yeah.
That is awesome. That makes our day and month and everything else. And that's so nice to hear. So, what are the three pieces of technology you were using before, Baby?
Sure. So one was my event for like the Hopathon.
Sorry, Rohit,
Uh,
can you lower the camera a little bit so I can
oh
get
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah. Okay, yeah,
yes, the three. Yeah, what were you using with
sure.
Baby?
Yeah. So we're using my event for P2P and like the Hopathon, and then for the auction, they were using just the basically eBay auctions feature. Um, And then I believe the other part was mostly into like Excel/PayPal and check, a lot of manual work through Excel, etc., ticketing, etc. It was all managed through. I'm trying to think if there's any other technology piece that was there. I can go back and look at the history, in the fundraising mailbox, but those were the three. Or yeah, and I could check my notes too. I have some notes somewhere, but it was my event, the eBay auctions, and then like miscellaneous other hacks, including Excel sheets and yeah, PayPal.
So, when you found out about Baby, what got you most interested? Why did you sign up for Baby?
Sure. So as the fundraising co-chair, I was excited about first is having like a holistic platform and moving everything to online that's trackable, including like donor receipts. I love that feature of like the automatic receipts that would go out at the end of the year, so people can easily file taxes. So I like uh, the the online aspects. So going from offline to QR codes, each event having its own link, and the fact that we could do all our types of fundraisers on Paybee, including auctions, P2P, ticketing based fundraisers, etc. Everything is all in one platform and online.
Okay, great. And then, what really mattered when you used Paybee, or why did it make such a big difference, you think? Why did you get 3x, 5x results?
Right. I'd say it's the simplicity to donate. Like it was super easy to donate, just like a single click, almost like a single click experience. So I'd say the ease of donation and then the ability to create that sort of virality and spread, send the links. So I'd say ease of donation and sharing slash virality.
Hmm.
Those are the things that come to mind. I'll think if there's something else too, but it's been a little over a year since I haven't like been, yeah, fundraising.
That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
sure you still went through the experience, so you know. And then, how much time do you think you all used to spend before Paybee on just handling all this versus after? Was there any difference in terms of time put in?
Sure. So it might be like event specific,
Okay,
like yeah.
yeah. Mm,
So the auction was a lot of like one or a group of people doing a lot of manual work. With Paybee, we were able to automate it through the Excel sheet, just put, all the items, images, etc., details, and upload it through Excel. So I'd say if I were to measure it, yeah, I'd say there's at least a few hours saving. Maybe instead of say an 8 hour day, we could do it in an hour or so, something. So maybe like a 8x saving if you go by hours
mm,
for the auction. For P2P, my event, my event, another thing was it was a little clunky and slow platform, and Paybee was super fast and easy to create, like the P2P fundraisers. Um, yeah, I'll have to check on the my event piece because I didn't set up the legacy system. I just sort of inherited
mm.
that. But I'd say even that would, so we did the P2P, the links. Yeah, I'd say even that was probably a 2x to 4x saving, given that, we could have, like everything on one leaderboard dashboard and then the P2P. But I can look at my notes and come up with exact numbers. But I'd say 8x time saving on the auction and about like, say, 2 to 4x on the P2P fundraisers. Um, and maybe similar for the ticketing based events because I just set up like say a yoga class, put it up there versus, having people going to Excel, putting out their info, then PayPaling me, then me paying the school, right? Now it's directly going through the school. So there were a lot of hoops for the money to get to the school. Now it's all directly integrated. So the workflow is easier. And that's where the time saving came from too. Yeah.
So, how many people were you in the team who were managing anything related to, I guess, the PT activities or fundraising using Paybee? How many people were using it at a time? Let's see, from the admin perspective.
Admin, sure. Uh, I'd say, yeah. So it was mainly me and my fundraising co-chair. We were like, as co-chairs, leading the whole like platform work. I was doing more of the tech work, so it was mostly me in that sense. But in total, we had 4 admins that had access that were managing specific events. So we had one for each auction. So there were two auction admins and one for the hackathon, and then two of us. So about 5 admins in total, like accessing and or that had access to make updates.
Yeah. So, typically before Paybee, how many human hours do you think you put into setting up auction? Maybe just let's talk about your event and auction, right? Total human,
Right.
how many would you estimate there were before.
Sure. Right. And this is an estimate. I didn't do that eBay setup, but I inherited and I saw that, it's pretty cumbersome. And yeah. So I'd say, so I'd say auction across like say 100 to 200 items was probably about like a days of work somewhere there. And through the Excel sheet, it made it like say an hour to 2 hours or so. So
Mhm.
about a four to eight X better, somewhere there. Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. And how important is it for you that everything happens in one place? uh, no matter what fundraising idea you have, being able to just quickly take action or being able to execute it, and, uh, you know that it can be done with what you have. How important is that to you?
Yeah, I'd say that was critical. It helped us like focus on our goal, have all the donors in one place, and for the donors getting their receipts like in January for the whole year, that part was pretty amazing. So I'd say for those three aspects, it's super important. But for me, it was super important to be able to like look at the goal, see where we are, where we need to be, and then see how each fundraiser is doing. um, yeah, and then having all donors in one place, that was amazing. Like it was easy to look back and refer, see how much person. So, some person has donated over the year. Um, Another thing, we were also able to go back and say, like, look for specific donors that had contributed in the past to just cold email them saying, would you like to donate again? We have an upcoming fundraiser. So I'd say for having it all integrated was the setting the goal, having clear, knowing where we are, and then having all donors in one place was pretty really amazing.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, because otherwise we had this Excel sheet where we had to aggregate like how much did we get from this platform, my event, how much from eBay, how much from PayPal, how much from checks, and multiple people would update the sheet based on what money they received, and then we would aggregate that in Excel. So now we can just look at the Paybee dashboard and see the totals, etc. There were some aspects out of Paybee too. Like we set up this farm box through a partnership, so alumni and families could order a farm box, and for every box weekly, the school gets 10%. That was raised outside of Paybee, so there was no way to track that in Paybee. As such, I'd say one cool thing about Paybee is that we could also add our manual donations. So we got large checks during the pandemic, and we could add it and see the whole view in the dashboard. Uh,
Huh, I
yeah,
see. Cool. So with this farm box, you just wanted a way to track basically the donation or the amount that you're sending to farm box on behalf of a family. Is that what you wanted? What
I
are you?
was thinking, yeah. So the fundraiser was that we set up this referral link. It's like a organic
Mm-hmm.
CSA farm box, and then whoever signs up, alumni, any family signs up, the school gets 10% of every order every week, basically every week. So we were able to scale that and get a significant amount, which was raised outside of Paybee,
Mm, I
um,
see. So
because
you're,
it's a separate. Yeah. So, but we are able to say add it manually to Paybee as a manual donation. Yeah.
that in one place. That's true. So then now,
Right.
in terms of like, I guess your finance officer and them keeping track of funds and amounts and all,
Mm.
how did their job or their tasks turn out to be before and well, with Paybe?
Right. Yeah. So initially there was a lot of pushback
Mhm.
because nobody wanted to move to a new platform, and they were like thinking about the whole move and all the fees, etc. Are there any hidden fees? Which there weren't, which is great. But there was initial pushback. I pushed through that, through data, and then for our like manager who managed everything, I'd say she also got super familiar and liked Baby because it saved a lot of time from having to like gather data from multiple sources every month, report it to the board, like here's where our fundraising is. So I'd say from a data and time perspective, um, in terms of hours saved, I'd say if like say we or she did like the whole manual process, uh, yeah, I'm trying to add all the hours that we spend, but I'd say if it was say like a 8 hour a month job, it's sort of cut down to about an hour or so where you have all the data in Paybee, you just export it and then you can share it at the board meeting.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I'm happy to come up with some numbers from my notes and then put a short video that you can share with investors. I'd say one feature that came to mind, which probably wasn't there, is the fundraising cycle is annual for the school.
Mhm.
And so our dashboard shows the lifetime cumulative value. So
Mm.
we were thinking if there's a way to reset it for every school year or something,
Oh,
where or show like another metric where lifetime is whatever 200K, but
mm.
then for this year you've raised 10K, so you still have 10K to go or whatever. Yeah. So
That's a really
yeah,
good idea. I
yeah.
will put that in our feature tracker for sure. Makes sense. Yeah. Being able to get that. Okay, good. And the school is continuing to use Paybee?
Yeah, they're continuing to use it. The account is still active. I'll have to check if the fundraising activities are all at the same pace. Sometimes it depends on like who the fundraising chair is too, how proactive they are. But there's two or three large fundraisers that um yeah, that they organize a hackathon, etc. And in fact, so we had like in when I did it about a year and a half ago or so, the hackathon was like a all, so 5K was our best, and then we did around 14K somewhere there, so about 3x better. The next year when they did it, I think they got to like 17 18K, so it kept getting better. So it's basically 4x now of what it was before Paybee.
Oh, very good. Okay, great. And would you recommend Paybee to other nonprofits?
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. It's a holistic fundraising platform. You can do all types of fundraisers there and then manage all your donors in one place. So I love the whole Paybee experience and excellent customer support too. So,
Okay, great. And if you don't mind just saying your name and introducing yourself.
sure. Hi, I'm Rohit Jankiani. I've used Paybee as a part of Children's Community Center fundraising efforts.
Okay. Okay, cool. No, that's great. I think I asked you. And yeah, if you don't mind just doing the 1 minute video in your own words. I know some of this was
Yeah.
me asking a question, but whatever comes to mind. And
Yeah, and if you want, you can also send me like two or three questions to answer, like the top two, three. I'll
Mm.
just incorporate that into the video. And if not, I have a script that I can say. I'll just say we raised 5x of our goal. All types of fundraisers were integrated into this holistic platform. We were, able to manage donors and yeah, so on and so forth. But basically talk about how it saved us during the pandemic in many ways.
Okay.
And
And
yeah.
post-pandemic also.
Right.
If-
Yeah.
yeah,
Continuing.
that'll be great. Yeah, in terms of results that you got, how it's a one platform for everything. And then
Right.
uh, how you were all able to remotely work and get your tasks done while keeping your eye on the goal. I think that should be good. And
Good.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, I think that'll be really nice. No, this is
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I can do that and send it across. And then I think that might be better than this because this was more off the cuff. I remembered some of the numbers from my head, but that'll be more, like a better video.
Sure, sure. No, I'm almost thinking, I mean, the story is so amazing. I think we might want to do a case study on this. I think it'll make for a wonderful story, and it's to do with kids and, and parents coming together who have busy lifestyles. And, I mean, that's what I think matters most at the end of it. How can you do a lot more with a little time that you have? Right. So I think
Right.
wonderful. Cool, cool. Yeah, I think we might. Are you in touch with the current fundraiser who's working on this? Are you friends with them?
Um, Yeah, I am friends with them, with Anjali. Like, yeah, I'm not in touch as much, just a little bit now and again. And then
Okay,
maybe our,
make an intro. I'll speak to her and then maybe get her idea too. And then I think we should put together a case study. And
okay,
school having all this history that it does, I think it's pretty beautiful.
right.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, happy to introduce you to the manager too, the control who runs everything.
Okay.
She's good too. And then I'm trying to think. Yeah, you can ask like Anjali, why, like what or why are they trying to get from the CRM?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
and on that point, I should say we are going to build a Salesforce integration.
Oh,
So
got it.
I'll
Okay.
speak to her too on, so that how can they reduce their work or so that we can get more done for them.
R- Right. And one challenge was, yeah, that sounds good. Happy to make the intro, and I'll
Mm.
send you the video. Let me know what you think. I
Sure.
just record it from my Mac. And
Yeah.
then I think one challenge like we had and they have is that we have data and sort of, or only our last 10 years of alumni
Mm.
are like in our digital format. So we have mailing lists that go only about 10 years back,
Mm.
and everything else is on paper, so there's no way for us to reach that audience, right? Like we raise 5x of our goal by only targeting 10 years worth of alumni.
Uh-huh.
And then now the school has a 97-year-old history, so
Uh,
the we'll have to figure out how to go back to the 85 years of other families that, or yeah, that might want to participate and so on, which is hard. It's like, yeah, to
mm.
yeah.
Huh. Do you
Yeah.
have it like on paper? Could somebody like kind of just type it up or something for you?
Yeah, it's on paper, like it
Uh,
goes far back and it's on paper, but I
mm.
think nobody wants to do it or whatever. Like, yeah, but it's a lot of work.
Somebody on Fiverr or something
Yeah,
that at least
right,
help you get it in. Once the data's in, you can do wonderful things from with it, right?
right.
Um,
Yeah, it'll just increase the outreach by like 10x or 8 to 10x.
yeah,
Um,
I think relationships are everything, right? In this space, and especially like school has such a special place in people's hearts. And
hard.
yeah,
Right. And
no matter
yeah, and so
where you go, the school is always a part of you.
true. And there are a lot of friendships developed through the school. Like we still have a lot of friends, and this is special because it's a co-op. So parents are very involved, very invested, super active in fundraising, and super active like at school participating. So there's a good like camaraderie, friendship. We still do like camping. We've done like camping trips, with
Oh,
just
oh
just
wow.
in just in Oakland, so nothing fancy, but
Okay.
close by. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
We've done.
We might
Yeah.
know people who could help you like type up this information. Like we worked with a couple of people on Fiverr who are pretty good. Like they'll help us look up data. So if you
Right.
want introductions or something, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We can check with Anjali if like she's interested. The only thing is then someone will still have to scan like the hundreds of pages or whatever, right? Like, yeah, or some some way to, and then type it, create mailing list for each year.
That is true.
Yeah.
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 Or an intern, I guess.
Yeah. Right. And we were fine because we were like, ahead of our goal. And so we thought about it, but then it was, yeah, we were more, our priority was moving to the platform. So that was number one. And yeah,
I'm also just randomly throwing it out there, but maybe if the community, if they themselves could enter information that, hey, do you know other people who went there? Just give us their name and phone number or something of that. So just fill it up for us and then
right.
fill your data that way. Right. It's something to think about. Anyway, brainstorming I can do all day, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right.
No, but that's great. It's a
Awesome.
wonderful story. Let me stop recording so we can